Hi, welcome to my video on solve the equations with the number e, part 1. Solve for x to the nearest hundred. The log of x minus 4 base e equals 2. So base is e, exponent is 2, and the number is x minus 4. Log base exponent number in the log form, you change that to base exponent number, and that's what I'm doing here. And we want to solve for x to the nearest hundred, so that means e squared plus 4 equals x. Now this is the exact value for x, but we want it to the nearest hundred, so we take our calculator and we turn it on, and we go e is second function ln e squared plus 4. E squared plus 4 is 11.389, so it's 11.39. So x is equal to 11.39. Number 2. Notice here now we have a log on each side, so I have to bring each side to a log, but the log of a half base 2 can be changed to a number. So the log of a half base 2, so 2 to the what power gives you half is a negative 1. So that means we only have the log on one side, because this is base e, this is base 2. So we can't, if we change this to a single log, because they have different bases, then I can't do it. So we have to change the log of a half base 2 to a negative 1. Now I can combine these. Both of them got base e, and when you're subtracting the difference of logs, you divide. So 6x divided by 3. So this is the log of e, base e. 6x divided by 3 is 2x equals negative 1. So base exponent number. So that means that e to the negative 1, so e to the negative 1 is 1 over e to the 2x. We can divide, put that 2x over 1, make it a fraction. So we have 2xe equals 1. So x is equal to e divided by, so x divided by 2e. X divided by 2e, and so x is equal to 1 divided by 2e. So 1 division, and I'm going to put this in bracket 2e, so we'll do inverse ln with a 1. So now I got the 1 enclosed in the bracket to make that e to the 1. So now I have to do another bracket, because this is 1 divided by, so this bracket here and this bracket here takes care of this expression in here. So that's decimal 1/8 to the nearest hundred. So x equals to 0.18. Just be careful. Again, you got a negative exponent, so it's 1 over e, and we cross multiply, so we're solving for x as a division here. So 2xe equals 1. We divide it by 2e on each side. So the 2 cancels, the e's cancel, so x is equal to 1 over 2e. Number 3, we got a log on each side. Both of them, all of them, 3 of them have base 3, so we have, this is a log, simplified, so we make this into a single log. So this is the log, base 3. And when the sum of 2 logs is the log of the product. So we multiply. leave the right side as it is. That's a 4. So that's the log base 3. 4 times a half is 2, 2x. 4 times negative 3, 4 times negative 3 over 4 is negative 3. So we have both sides have a log, same base. So that means that 2x minus 3 equals 8e plus 1. And we're solving for x. 2x is equal to 8e plus 1 plus 3. So 8e plus 4. And we divide by 2. So x is equal to 8e divided by 2 is 4e. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. And we pick up the calculator. We go 4 times e plus 2. It's clear. So we have 4 times e is second function ln. Raise it to the 1 power. And we got to go add on 2. So that gives us 12 point, we go to the nearest 100, 12.87. This is less than 5, so we just leave it as a 7. And so that's just, notice we're working it out to the nearest 100, changing. So on my calculator, remember, on my textures instrument, to get E, you have to go second function ln. That gives you what E is. And just to check, if we put a 1 in here, e to the 1 is e, and e should be 2.7. Let's see. Yep, 2.718. 2818. So now that's when we find to the nearest 100. But on this page, we're going to solve for x as the exact value. In other words, we're going to solve for x in terms of e. Do not change it. Leave e in your answer. So we have a log, we have a base, we have an exponent, and we have a number. Base, exponent, number. So e cubed minus 2 is equal to x. So e cubed minus 2 is what x is, to get to 3. And just to check that one just for a second. So if we put e cubed minus 2 plus 2, that gives me plus 2 minus 2 is 0, so that gives me e cubed. And we know there's a rule, if these two bases are the same, then we get the 3. So that's just subbing it back in to see if everything's okay. Number 2, 1/3 the log of base 8, the log of 8 base e plus the log of x minus 1 base e equals a half. So first rule when we're dealing with logs is move the number in the front as a power. So this is 8 to the 1/3. So you got to move any number that's in front of a log up to the exponent. Done. So that's the log e. 8 to the 1/3 is the cube root of 8 is 2. Finish writing the rest of it out. Doing one step at a time. The sum of two logs is the log of the product. So we take 2 and multiply by 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So now we have 1 log, so we got to go base, exponent, number. And we're solving for x, so e to the half plus 2, we're moving the 2 to the left side. So we go over here. Now I got to divide by 6, so it's e to the 1/2 plus 2 divided by 6 equals 6x divided by 6, they cancel and I get an x. So this is e to the half divided by 6 plus 2 divided by 6. So e to the half divided by 6 is the same as 1/6 e to the half. And 2 divided by 6 is 1/3. So x equals 1/6 of e to the 1/2 plus 1/3 is the exact value for x. Number 3, we already have a single log, so we go base, exponent, number. Both of them are to the negative powers, so x to the negative 1, x minus 1 to the negative 1 is 1 over x to the minus 1. E to the negative 2 is 1 over e squared. And we got a fraction, so let's cross multiply. So x minus 1 equals e squared. X minus 1 times 1 and e squared times 1. Now, I multiplied. Normally you would go 1 times e squared and 1 times x minus 1. But because I want an x on the left side, I multiply this one first and this one second. So that gives us x equals e squared plus 1. And we have another one to do, the final one. This one is a little bit longer. I have a log on each side. There's the base e, base e, base e, but this is not a base e. So, but I notice that I have the log of 81 base 3, that's a 4. 3 to the 4th power is 81. So what we have, base, so notice I have two negatives here, so to handle those two negatives, both of these are going to act as a division. But to do the right math, let's take the negative outside. Log 3 base e plus big bracket. So I'm taking the negative out of these two and making them positive. That makes them a little bit, trying to explain that because these are addition now, the sum of two logs is the log of the product. So I get 3 times x, 3 times negative 3. So the problem with these two negatives here is that both of these are acting as a division. So by doing the negative of the two of these, now I got a product here. So now I have log e, base e, of x squared minus x minus 6. The subtraction of two logs is the division. Equals 4. So I have e, base, exponent, number, but what I did, I multiplied these two together, but if I had left them out, if I had left the 3 here and taken the 3 out by factoring, but if I didn't combine the two of these, if I didn't go 3 times x minus 3 to get this binomial, if I just said 3 times x minus 3, I would have had this. But because I multiplied, now I got to go turn around and factor. So log e to the 4, this is a quadratic, so it might be factorable. So that's an x and an x. A 3 and a 2 gives me a 1, so it's a minus 3 plus 2. So let's go up here, and I have e to the 4th, and the x minus 3's cancel out, so I get x plus 2 over 3. place this over 1 and cross multiply. 1 times x plus 2 is x plus 2, and 3 times e to the 4th. So x equals 3 times e to the 4th minus 2. And again, I made this one up so that this is a quadratic that I had to factor. And this cancellation occurs to make it a little bit easier, just to have an 1x. A little bit extra in the math here with the factoring. If you didn't factor here, then you would have an x squared. And you wouldn't, I made it up so that this is factorable, just to have 1x. And math, even in calculus, always works out nicely. Everything works out really nice. If you can say math and calculus is nice. But again, notice that both of these are negatives. So both of these, 3 and x minus 3, end up in the denominator, but they're multiplied together. So by doing this little trick in math right here, these two are grouped together as a product, and then they go on the bottom. Just wanted to show you that little trick. Keep using those tricks. Math always works nicely when you know your tricks and skills. And if you like my video, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button. If you wish to subscribe to my channel, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to view more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video was of some help to you. Bye-bye.